The hospital net has been something I've been a part of for, I would say, the better part of probably 8 years. There's a lot of folks that have helped out with this. Don Workman approached me, KI4TDG, it was about 8 years ago probably, and asked me if I would be willing to help him out with the net on a semi-regular basis. And that's kind of turned into something that I've enjoyed doing. And the hospital net meets on the third Thursday of each month. We all meet at noon, so right in the middle of our lunch hour. Richard Hall, I don't know if Richard's on here or not, but K6QS, he is the net manager for our net. And basically, we have quite a few served agencies just because of the scope of the width of the hospital net. TEMA is a primary agency for us. The Red Cross is also there. We also serve local government health departments, and then there are other folks that are a part of the hospital net. As far as participation goes, it's a strange net in that individual amateur operators do not check into the net. You are required to be a facility or a hospital, a 911 call center, county EOCs. You can see surgery centers are listed, rehab nursing facilities. There's also local ARES groups. National Guard's represented, TEMA is represented, and we actually represent the Red Cross from all across the state. We try to get all of the state Red Cross offices to check in as well. But it is strange in that we have to use the word facilities, because if we don't, we end up with a whole bunch of folks checking in that are not facilities. And our net roster is about 120 to 130 people that check in. And again, you guys probably all know this, but the purpose of the net is really to provide a few things: backup communications for all the facilities, to provide primary communications in case of an emergency. It also allows the facilities to diversify their communications during an emergency. If they need to be doing two things at once, we can step in and help them out on that front. We can also use the hospital net, and it has been used for this purpose in the past. Not necessarily our net, but other ones like it around the country, to request medical and non-medical supplies, to provide updates on the facility readiness, whether they have power, whether they have water, security, whatever it is that they need to report, assuming traditional communications networks are not working. They can also use it to request assistance from government agencies, which we actually used that functionality during our set exercise that we did probably 3 or 4 years ago in WCARES. We actually brought the hospital net online for that particular set exercise with WCARES, and then used it. And I believe it was also used, Don Workman could tell us better. I believe it was also actually used during the 2010 floods. I think it was active during that event. And again, our big thing that we ask is that, that stations and facilities have trained amateur personnel to assist. That's a big thing. These guys come in and they train once a month with us, and it really works out well. And a lot of them are very professional, and they know exactly what to do and how to do it. And some of the facilities believe it or not, can get government grants just for having an amateur station that is tested regularly in their facility. So that works out well for the facility as well. So our net structure is a bit strange, at least in the nets that I've been a part of. We are actually broken down. We actually call it by regions. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There are 5 regions, 4 regions really, and then another within the hospital net that we operate. One is Metro Davidson, which is literally what it is. It's Metro Davidson. It's Davidson County. The Mid-Cumberland region encompasses pretty much everything Williamson County and north and a little east and west of Williamson County. South Central kicks in and picks up like Lewis County, Lawrence County down towards the south, Murray County. And then Upper Cumberland is the stations that are up Dudley's way, up towards the Cumberland Plateau. And it goes all the way to Knoxville, to the east. We go to, we go to Jackson in the west. We go up north. It serves north towards about Bowling Green, and south is Huntsville is about the limit of our net. And then other contacts, that is TEMA. Those are our ARRL section managers, different personnel that don't necessarily fit in the mold of a hospital facility that we would want online during the net. But really the strangest part about this net and what makes it fun is that there are actually multiple net control stations when we are running the net in the test mode, in the testing phase. We have a primary net controller that is responsible for keeping the master log of who checks in and of running the net. And then each of the regions, Metro, Davidson, Mid-Cumberland, South Central, Upper Cumberland, they each have their own net control station that's we call a regional net controller. And so the primary net control opens the net, does the preamble, checks in the regional net controllers, and then each of those net controllers, the net is passed over to them to call their specific section. And then they pass it back to the primary net control station, and then it's repeated until the net is over. Primarily, we use MTIRs as the primary method of communication for the net. It has been on the 146, I believe it's 6.7 machine, was on that for a while, and then it started having issues, and so we moved it over to MTIRs. But we also link in, I know there's a repeater in Columbia, I'm not sure which one it is, but that is a VHF repeater that is linked into MTIRs as needed. And I think it's usually it's linked in every couple of months, just I think to make sure that everything is working properly. We also, in the last couple of years, have integrated WinLink into the net. And not all the facilities have WinLink capability, but if they have the capability for WinLink, we ask them to send a WinLink message. We have a specific address for the hospital net, and we just ask them to send a WinLink message telling us their status, and all those things. And then also after each facility checks in, when we have the ability to do it, we ask that everybody try to contact a regional net control station on Simplex. Sometimes we'll get Simplex calls and sometimes we won't. It just kind of depends on the month and who's where, because a lot of us are doing it these days from home, and we don't have antennas high enough to really do great Simplex operations. But if you're ever at Williamson Medical Center, the antenna's on top of the roof there, so you can really reach out and have some fun with people on Simplex. Going down the list here, these are all folks that have helped us in the hospital net. Hang on one second. We have Richard Hall, K6QS, is our net manager. We have Laura. You guys all know Laura, N4CLO. Myself, Jeff Standifer, and Jeff Swartz. Those guys are all WCARES, and you know all of them, and they help us out on a regular basis with the hospital net. Bill, W4WRR, he is out of Columbia, and he assists us as well. Jason Hay, Jason Hay, KJ4MXE. And then Lee, I'm not sure where Lee is based, KJ4BAS, but he also helps us out from time to time as a net controller. The MTIRS folks, Tom Delker and Keith Miller, are both phenomenal and have provided us with a lot of help over the years, and they keep the MTIR system, keep it running and keep it going for us and assist us with anything we need. This also wouldn't be possible without David Wolf, WA4VVX. He jumps in and provides us with assistance on whatever we need on the TEMA side. And I'd also like to give a shout out to the past net controllers and people that have really influenced the net over the years. Weedy, NY40, Jack, Don KI4TDG drug me into it, and Randy KK4SRO has also helped us out quite a bit in the past, and we appreciate all of their contributions to the net.